Why does Iran hate America? Most people think it started with the Islamic Revolution. But the real story begins decades earlier, with a secret CIA operation that changed the course of Middle East history. Because the truth is, Iran and the United States were not always enemies. In fact, they were once close allies. Iran versus America. From allies to enemies. 1953 to 2026. The turning point came in 1953. At the time, Iran had a democratically elected prime minister, Mohammad Mossadegh. He made a bold decision. He nationalized Iran's oil industry. Until then, much of Iran's oil was controlled by British companies. Britain saw this as a major threat to its economic interests. And during the Cold War, the United States feared something else: that Iran might fall under Soviet influence. So, the United States and the United Kingdom secretly organized a coup. The goal was simple: remove Mossadegh and restore the power of the Shah of Iran. The operation succeeded. Mossadegh was arrested, and Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi returned to power with strong support from Washington. For the next 25 years, Iran became one of America's closest allies in the Middle East. But inside Iran, anger was slowly growing. Many Iranians believed the United States had destroyed their democracy. During the Shah's rule, Iran rapidly modernized. The country built a strong military, infrastructure expanded, and the economy grew. The United States invested heavily in Iran, seeing it as a key ally against the Soviet Union. But there was another side to this modernization. The Shah ruled with an increasingly authoritarian hand. His secret police, Savak, suppressed political opposition. Critics were arrested. Dissent was silenced. And over time, many Iranians began to see the Shah as a ruler protected by America, rather than supported by his own people. By the late 1970s, protests were spreading across the country. Then came 1979, one of the most dramatic revolutions in modern history. Millions of Iranians took to the streets. The Shah fled the country, and the monarchy collapsed. In its place, a new Islamic republic emerged, led by Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. The new government saw the United States as a symbol of foreign domination. Later that same year, a group of Iranian students stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. They took 52 American diplomats hostage. The hostages were held for 444 days. The crisis shocked the United States, and it permanently destroyed diplomatic relations between the two countries. Since 1980, Iran and the United States have had no formal diplomatic ties. But tensions did not stop there. In 1980, another crisis began. Iraq invaded Iran. This started the Iran-Iraq War, a brutal conflict that lasted 8 years. The United States did not directly fight Iran, but it supported Iraq politically and strategically. At the same time, Washington began accusing Iran of supporting militant groups across the Middle East. Groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon. From this point on, the relationship between Iran and the United States became openly hostile. Through the 1990s and early 2000s, the United States imposed heavy economic sanctions on Iran. Washington accused Iran of 3 things: supporting militant groups, destabilizing the Middle East, and secretly developing nuclear weapons. In 2002, U.S. President George W. Bush labeled Iran part of the axis of evil. Trust between the two countries was now almost non-existent. Then came the nuclear crisis. In the early 2000s, the world discovered Iran was developing an advanced nuclear program. Iran insisted the program was peaceful. It said the goal was nuclear energy. But the United States and several Western countries believed something else. That Iran was secretly trying to build nuclear weapons. Years of negotiations followed. Finally, in 2015, a nuclear agreement was signed, known as the Iran nuclear deal. Under the deal, Iran limited its uranium enrichment. International inspectors monitored its nuclear facilities. And in return, many sanctions were lifted. But the agreement did not last. In 2018, the United States withdrew from the deal, and sanctions returned. Tensions quickly escalated again. Then, in January 2020, the conflict reached another dangerous moment. A U.S. drone strike in Iraq killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, one of the most powerful military leaders in Iran. Iran responded with missile strikes on American bases in Iraq. For a moment, the world feared a direct war between the two countries. Today, the rivalry continues, but it often happens in the shadows, through cyber attacks, intelligence operations, economic pressure, and regional conflicts across the Middle East. Iran now enriches uranium close to weapons-grade levels, raising fears that it could eventually build a nuclear weapon. Meanwhile, the United States continues sanctions and military pressure, trying to limit Iran's influence across the region. So, what is this conflict really about? It is not just one issue. It is the result of several overlapping struggles. Historical resentment from the 1953 coup was ideological conflict between the Islamic Republic and Western influence. A regional power struggle in the Middle East. The nuclear weapons question. And the strategic importance of oil and global energy routes. Together, these forces have kept tensions alive for more than 70 years. The relationship between Iran and the United States began as a strategic partnership, but the events of 1953, 1979, and the nuclear disputes of the 21st century transformed that partnership into one of the most enduring rivalries in modern geopolitics. And even today, the story is still unfolding.